So, Amie,
Zachary.
Avery,
Zach.
you're familiar with the Subway Takes.
Yes.
This is the Kareem Rama joint. I've thought of this as like one of the internet's finer pieces of work. Only I found that he's kind of been responsible for what I find to be a really problematic take.
So what's your take?
I think it's okay if I go to a box of donuts, take a knife, cut a half a donut, and take the half a donut and leave the half a donut there.
100% agree. I can't believe that anyone would disagree.
It's so controversial. There was yelling and screaming, and people were being called bun cunts.
Wait, there
Now, I want to get you both on the record here. You agree that cutting a donut, like if we worked in imagine our digital coffee, our digital kitchenette in our digital newsroom. It's Avery's birthday. They're 11 years old, and I want to ring it in by celebrating how they are 30 years younger than I am.
Accurate.
How do I celebrate that? Well, of course, I'm going to bring in donuts. I bring in said box of donuts. I open them up, leave them for you two to sup upon. If Rick, the guy in IT, came by with his like, machete knife and like lopped half of the donut, like lopped the donut in half, took one part with him, that would be something beyond the pale. That's cancelable. We have to fire this man on sight, this Rick.
Nah, I like that. I like a half a donut. And then if I want to come back for another half, because they make donuts so big now. Like,
what do you mean so big? It's a donut.
I feel like
it's light.
It's too
it's
much.
airy.
It's too much sweet for me. I'm do the half. I mean, do it right. Don't do it with your hands. But I like the knife.
Like that's just people taking what they need.
Yeah.
And then they're like, somebody else can have the other half. And I feel like that's very kind.
I'll
you know
eat
what I
the
mean?
other half of Rick's donut.
Instead of taking a whole donut and then like throwing it away if you don't want it or letting it go stale. Like they're just taking what they need, and then that's very socialist. It's very socialist to me.
I don't know. I feel like capitalism has just like formed you to so much that you can't eat a whole donut. Who can't eat a whole donut?
I'm not going to knock anybody for not being able to eat a whole donut. We've all got our dietary things. I'm not somebody, I will eat a whole donut, but if I go to a box of donuts and I see somebody only took half, I'll be like, "Oh, thank you so much for not, taking more than you need."
This isn't theoretical for me.
Amie Charlene Rivers, I have personally seen you eat a whole donut.
I could do it, but if I don't want to, or if there's multiple ones, like I like the half choice, then I can try it 2 different halves, and then I'm full, but then I didn't have to eat a whole donut. Also, this is not theoretical for me. I actually worked in an office for a lot of my working years, and
before you retired to
before I retired, right, to podcasting and bad takes, and we totally
bad takes. We agree.
Had cut donuts. And I did that. Maybe I was the office pariah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that I believe in the prison industrial complex. I certainly believe in these criminals who are cutting donuts in half to go to jail for a long time.
You're really passionate about this, aren't you?
I am. The more I think about this, the more it infuriates me that these bun would dare.
You're gonna have to cut that out, or else this isn't gonna be monetized. We're gonna be in YouTube jail.
We'll get into fun. I'll fine then. I'm brave. I'll go to YouTube jail because I'm tired of these bun mopping around with their rusty knives coming after the one beautiful thing in my work environment. That's what they're doing. They're taking the little donuts out of the mouths of children and cutting them in half and throwing them into the wind.
Did you only bring the one Bavarian cream donut? Because that's on you.
It's all. Look, times is hard.
In this economy, more than one Bavarian cream donut in this economy.
In Esso Economia, yeah. Welcome to Cornhole Champions, Iowa's Starting Line's weekly podcast where we throw bags at the state's biggest stories. I'm Zachary Oren Smith. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm joined today by the person who reads the fine print so the rest of us can skip to the good stuff, Amie Rivers. What's up, Amie?
I love a good fine print.
I love the good fine print. I actually don't like the fine print. And Avery Staker, who somehow makes the driest insider baseball Politico story into something you want to use. Hello, Avery.
Let me cook on socials.
First story, Iowa DOGE's task force wants the state to cut its defined benefit pension off to new state employees, replacing it with a 401k style plan. It's interesting since this same idea was floated by Governor Kim Reynolds back in 2017. It became a huge issue that led to her sending these mailers that claimed, Governor Kim Reynolds, a promise made is a promise kept, that she's going to defend IPERS today, tomorrow, and into the future. She said all this, and then recently appointed the Iowa DOGE committee, and guess lo and behold, what's in their recommendations for changes. It's Iowa Public Employees Pension Program.
Surprise.
Surprise. I thought we'd start with a brief explanation of what's a pension. Unless you're one of the 1 in 10 Iowans that is on IPERS, you probably don't have a pension. So pensions are often called defined benefit programs. They're employer-sponsored retirement plans providing a guaranteed stream of income and therefore stability for retirees. It's a great way to kind of have a sense of what you will be making in retirement so that you can plan accordingly to adjust to the quality of life you're aiming for. By comparison, a defined contribution plan, that's the plan that I'm on, it's a savings account where final payouts depend on contributions to that savings account, where pension systems shift investment risk onto employers, in this case the state. Defined contribution systems shift the risk onto employees. There's a reason why these were so popular at one point in time, and since employers have really been gutting a lot of these systems across this state and nation. Avery, your mom was a teacher, right?
Yeah, she was a teacher. Now she works for the teachers union. She works for ISCA.
Was she able to apply for IPERS?
Yeah, she was on she had an IPERS, and she deals with a lot of her teachers, the people that she works with through the union are all, whenever she's dealing with like a retirement or a teacher getting let go or fired or whatever, there's always conversations about, what they're getting from IPERS.
Right. It's one of these, it's one of the kind of marquee benefits if you're a state employee, right? While public sector workers earn less than their private sector counterparts on average, this is kind of like one of these like major kind of coins, right? That public employers can use to have really well qualified, really smart folks who do work in the public sector.
And that's like what my grandparents, when they retired, were both IPERS. My grandma was a public school employee for a while, and they they weren't fabulously wealthy with their IPERS payments, but like they were able to like live, and host Christmas with my family. Like it's not like a massive benefit, but it is, right. It's supportive.
Yeah. In fact, the average payout for IPERS is $15,000 annually, right? It's not these like huge fat cats that are raking in all this
lobster
money
and caviar.
For their retirement. Yeah, the lobster and right. But nonetheless, Terry Lutz of the Iowa DOGE task force said, and I quote, "Currently, the state is contributing nearly 70% to an employee retirement plan, where the employee is contributing 30%. In the private sector, these percentages would be almost the opposite of that," which felt to me, as someone from the private sector, felt to me like the private sector telling on itself about how it does not support its employees' retirement. I don't know. It's one of these things where this is a great benefit, right? This is something that for electeds who can qualify for IPERS, for folks in the secondary roads departments for counties across the state, right? This is like when we talk about the hard work that a lot of these folks do. This is one of the great kind of benefits that they get because of their service to the state. The proposal could worsen Iowa's existing teacher and corrections officer shortages. Right now, we've been talking a lot about the difficulty of recruiting folks to these into these positions. Ever since, I remember Anna Mosa, ever since that tragedy. The union there reports the difficulty of recruiting and keeping employees under the conditions that they're currently in. And if you're close to retirement, staying on IPERS or waiting to get vested for IPERS is a really great way of kind of keeping folks there. And I think a lot is made about how pensions won't pay for themselves, right? That these are, this is a huge form of liability for the state. The state can't afford to keep this going. And if we were the state of Wyoming, I would agree, right? Where which has a very small percentage of its total liability funded by their pension program. Iowa has more than 90% of its pension liability funded. It is it is the 11th best funded pension in the country.
Oh wow!
Right. And so it's like, it's interesting that this is the one. There are certain states where I understand, right, that you have a ton of liability tied up in its retirement program. I understand why sweeping changes might need to be made. But you're seeing even among Iowa Republican politicians in the Iowa legislature that this is just not something that they want to touch. I spoke with Iowa Republican Brian Losey. He's a state house member representing a district including Bondurant. And he said that while absolutely, we should be doing whatever we can to make sure that we're thinking about efficiency, that you're making sure we're asking questions about what is the best use of public money. But this is a good program by all accounts, right? This is something that not only are Iowans interested in, but also if we're looking for efficiency, if we're looking to make changes to government, why not go somewhere else, right? There are places where we can begin to have those conversations. Why go after something that's more than 90% funded? I
mean, it's in the name. It's a guaranteed benefit. Like there's not really any downside to having a program like this because it's supporting people who have devoted their lives and their careers to working in the public sector, which in turn serves the public. And then once they retire, it gives them the means to live comfortably until, they don't need it anymore.
And if the private sector wants to begin improving the benefits that it's providing to its employees, I don't think those employees would be upset about that.
No, not even a little bit.
I bet there's a lot of Iowa employees that would love to see their employer begin to offer a pension.
Instead, they're going in the opposite direction. I mean, you're seeing employer matches go away, especially for new hires. So you're just on the hook to make your own retirement contributions. Meanwhile, your cost of living is going way up. I mean, I would be curious as to know how many people in the private sector are actually able to contribute meaningfully to their retirement, given their wages, and that's a looming problem for a lot of us. Like, we're all going to be poor on Social Security because until they take that away, and then what?
But go off, Queen.
Take away our homeless encampments. So something needs to be done, right? Like, we need to fix this both at the public level and the private level.
Yeah. Seems like every new kind of policy that Republicans are proposing is just like, we want to make people poor, and
keep them there,
and we want
because they're better workers. Right.
Yeah. We want people working desperate until they're 85 that. And that's just really, don't do that, please.
Yeah. Iowa DOGE wants to fix a retirement system that isn't broken by making the one advantage public service still has over private employment disappear. They're calling it efficiency. Public employees are calling it exactly what it sounds like, a way to gut the public workforce while calling it modernization. And with that, Amie, can we take a break?
Yes, we can.
Let's do it.